Hey, I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA and Individual Disability Attorney. Welcome to Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started today, I've got to give you a legal disclaimer. This podcast isn't legal advice, but nothing will prevent me from giving you an easy-to-understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games the disability insurance carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. Today, I'm going to be talking about medical proof that you need in order to justify and prove your long-term disability claim. And I'm going to be talking about four important things. First, having a supportive doctor as the key to getting your short and long-term disability benefits. Two, whether or not your disability carrier has to consider your subjective complaints of pain before denying your claim. And I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to talk about why a financial analyst's long-term disability claim denial was upheld for lack of medical proof of ongoing disability. And lastly, I'm going to conclude with a lesson on what not to do when your doctor no longer supports your claim or won't comment on your ability to work. This is a really important topic because the lack of medical proof will doom your claim from the very beginning. Let's take a break before we come back to this exciting topic.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind from your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claim process. Request your free copy of the book at kvlaw.com today.
Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Ready to get started? Let's talk about having a supportive doctor being the key to getting your short and long-term disability benefits. Look, when you file a claim for short and long-term disability benefits, you have the burden to prove that I'm going to start this over. Okay. Ready? Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Ready to get started? Having a supportive doctor is the key to getting your short and long-term disability benefits. When you file a claim for short and long-term disability benefits, you've got the burden to prove that you're disabled and unable to perform the material and substantial duties of your occupation, as those terms are defined by your policy. The way to prove this is with medical proof. The disability carrier or plan is going to get a copy of your medical records, and you need to know what those records say before you stop work and apply for your benefits. What do your medical records say about your symptoms, your functionality at home and work? What problems do you have with your work duties? Whether or not you've got problems with your employers, your diagnosis, your restrictions and limitations, your treatment plan and your response to that treatment plan, your attempts to work with accommodations or reduced hours, and whether you're exaggerating your problems. You also need to know one crucial fact, and that is, does your doctor support your claim? And secondly, will they be willing to fill out forms for your disability claim? And if not, before you stop work and apply for benefits, you darn well better find another doctor who supports your claim and will be helping you do all that paperwork. Now, how do we help your doctor help you? I always want my clients to explain in writing to the doctor what the material and substantial duties are of their occupation and what problems they have doing those duties. Now, before you do that, you need to understand how your policy defines your occupation. Is it as your occupation is performed in the national economy, the local economy, for your employer, or the Dictionary of Occupational Titles? Once you know what your occupation is based on the policy, you should be outlining the material and substantial duties of your occupation. I think you should take a piece of paper, and on the left-hand side of that piece of paper, write the first material duty, second, third, fourth, fifth, same way with the substantial duties. And after each one of those listed or bulleted items, you draw a line and you talk about the symptoms that you have that impact your ability to function. Give the doctor an example. So, for example, you might have problems with migraine headaches that cause you visual difficulties looking at the computer screen. So you would say migraine headache, 1, visual problems. Draw a line and say, cannot look at computer screen, dash. If I look at computer screen more than 15 minutes when I have a migraine, I start vomiting. Got it? Why is that important? Because your doctor is going to be asked to complete these attending physician statement forms. Now, the attending physician statement forms don't always ask the right questions. So we want to supplement that APS form with the right questions. But clearly, you have to give your doctor a truthful and complete explanation of your symptoms and your functionality and your job duties. And I think you should be doing that at every interval visit. In other words, you're going to give them a history of what your symptoms have been between each visit and examples of how those symptoms impact your functionality, either at work or at home. I think that helps the doctor take a better history and helps them complete the attending physician statement forms. Now, I think there are some other ways you can help your doctor. Some doctors want your assistance in filling out the APS forms, and they may ask you to do them in draft. I have no problem with that, but if I'm representing you, I assure you I'm going to be looking at those really closely. You may want to take those to the doctor or set up an appointment and review them with them and see if they agree with those restrictions and limitations or difficulties. If they don't, then I think you got to talk it out. It's important that you and your doctor be on the same page. And if they don't find this helpful, ask the doctor how you can help them fill out the forms. The issue here is to make sure your doctor has an adequate fund of information as to what your occupational duties are, your symptoms, how those symptoms impact your ability to function at work or home, and all of that's consistent in your medical records and consistent with your activity of daily living form. Let's talk about another issue. Does your disability carrier have to consider your subjective complaints? What happens if your doctor doesn't support your claim or won't support your claim anymore? You need to know the answers to these questions, and I'll take those on in our next session. But let's take a break first.